Welcome back to the Dragon's Lair, everybody. My name is Wade, and this is my show, Let's Talk, where we talk about Warhammer 40k. We're talking about Tyranids, because I love Tyranids. I'm a Tyranid player. Been a Tyranid player for 20 years, as well as Necrons. We're talking about Biovores, and we're kind of at the end of my list of reviews, where I review units. So we're kind of at the bottom of the barrel. Units that I don't usually use, units I don't own any of, units I don't like. And when I say I don't like, is because they don't have what I call the sauce. And in my opinion, the sauce is they're not good at something that then makes them really hard to turn down. And then you sort of look at, is the sauce worth the cost? If the unit is prohibitively expensive, then there might be something else that also has sauce, but has a better cost. And although I do play at the RTT level in my local area, I'm not super competitive. I just want to play well. I don't want to get tabled on turn 2. That's all I really want. I want to have a good game, score some points, have some laughs, and be a good sport. So talking about Biovores. Now, it's going to sound like I am a negative Nancy about a lot of things, but I am actually far more positive than I think what people think. Biovores are important to me in an unexpected way. So let's get into it. Movement 5, not great. Although Biovores don't need it. Biovores are great for sitting in the backfield, screening your backfield. Maybe they can do a little bit of moving around, a little scurry, go stand on this, a little scurry, go block that. I actually own one Biovore. I'm probably going to get 2 more just because. Toughness 6, it's better than you think. Now, you hear me criticizing Toughness 9 a lot. And I'm like, oh, it's not good enough. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, you're just going to get melted. And that's true. You're going to get melted. At the RTT level, every Space Marine squad has a melt-a-gun or plasma guns or both, and hellblasters and all sorts of stuff, and las cannons. They're just gonna melt you. But what I'm telling you is Biovores and Pyrovores, for that matter, because they're only toughness 6, your enemy is going to be putting in the melta shots into the other big dudes, which is why you use Maleceptors and Norn Emissaries with the 4+ invulnerable, just to be like, I don't care. You can be melta all day long, and I don't care, because if I roll a 4+, it doesn't matter. So that means smaller strength weapons are probably going to go against the Biovores, and if they're in the backfield hiding behind buildings, maybe nothing at all. So toughness 6 is an unexpected win. 3+ save is pretty good. It's a good place to start. Sink them in cover and keep them there. Scurry around in the backfield. I really do like the new model. I'm so glad that they updated it. I can't wait to put mine together. I don't even have mine together yet. It's not at the top of my pile of shame, but it's right near the top of my pile of shame. My Tyranid pile of shame is actually pretty small. My Necron pile of shame is completely gone. And my Knight's pile of shame is pretty big. And yeah. Oh, I've got a pretty big pile of shame for Imperial Guard. Anyways. Wound 5, that's way more than I thought. So that's a surprise win. I do have positive things to say. Leadership 8, that's pretty standard across the board if you don't have Synapse. The units that give Synapse usually have like a 7. OC1, that's not great, but if he's the only guy in your backfield and he's holding on to, your home objective, doesn't really matter. You just got to hold it, right? Especially if you're well screened, and then you have like someone to the left or someone to the right who can come to his aid, because your enemy is going to deploy in the backfield at some point. That's pretty standard in every RTT level game. Okay, so now here's where we're going to get into the sauce, because there is sauce here. All right. So ranged weapons, Spore Mine Launcher. The Spore Mine Launcher is pretty good, and it's uniquely good in unique ways. All right. So 48 inches. That's really good. That's most of the table right there. D3 attacks, not great, but it's also not super swingy. It's 1 to 3. It's only a 3 number range, so it's not super swingy. Ballistic skill 4. It's going to be modified by a lot of things, but it's the high side of average. You know, it's okay. Strength 6, that's pretty good. It'll be easier to wound like Terminators, for example. AP 1, that's okay. 2 damage. All right, so you could outright kill one Space Marine model with a Biovore shooting. Now let's get into the things that modify all that. So Blast. So if it's a 5-man, it's D3 1 plus 1. If it's a 10-man, it's D3 plus 2. So that's pretty good. Devastating wounds. So anything that is a critical wound is going to go straight to mortals, which is pretty cool because that'll happen. Heavy. So if he doesn't move, your ballistic skill is going to go down to 3, which is pretty cool. And then you can even use him as indirect fire. So if you don't move, it'd go down to 3. But if you're shooting at something that you can't see, it'll go back up to 4, which is useful. It's useful. It's pretty good. Okay, Chitin Barbed Limbs, pretty useless. 2 attacks, high side of average, weapon skill. Strength 5, you know, you could wound a Terminator. AP 0, the Terminator's going to save everything. And even if he fails, he only takes 1 damage. So you don't want him in melee at all, ever. Deadly Demise, if he dies, you roll a d6. If you roll a 6, he explodes, hurting everybody around him for 1. Synapse right there, that means he can benefit from Synapse. Okay, so here's the sauce now. I've said all that to get you to the sauce. And here's where he's uniquely different and uniquely good. Seed Spore Mines. Once per turn, in your shooting phase, when selected to shoot, one unit with this ability can use it instead of making any attacks with its ranged weapons. If it does, you can add 1 new Spore Mine unit to your army and set it up anywhere on the battlefield that is wholly within 48 inches of this unit and more than 9 inches horizontally away from all enemy units. So it's kind of like you're deep striking in a unit of Spore Mines. That Spore Mine unit contains 1 model for every model in this unit. Okay, so let's say you have 3 Biovores. When you use this ability, you plop down a new unit and it's got 3 Spore Mines in it. Okay, new unit now exists on the table, 3 Spore Mines. That's better than you think for many reasons. Reason 1, you can use Engage on all fronts because now you have units. You have units wholly within another table quarter. Okay, so it makes it really easy for you to score. I use Fixed. I use Engage on all fronts, and then if it's vehicles, bring it down. If a lot of characters, assassinate. I cycle through my other one, but I use a lot of gaunts supported by big monsters, and I have no problem scoring 3 table quarters or all 4 table quarters. No problem. So this is another way to do that. If you're not going to use Engage on all fronts, that's okay. But it's definitely a place where the sauce is that you didn't think. Now it's good for another reason. Now you created this other unit that the enemy has to worry about. There's now a bad guy where there wasn't a bad guy. And although a 3-man Spore Mine unit is not the end of the world, a player who's not that experienced and doesn't know that is going to unnecessarily prioritize them. And then even if they don't prioritize them, even if they know that that's not a super dangerous unit, you can still attack somebody with it and still get some damage put on them. So it's kind of bad all around for your enemy. You're going to change the situation. You're going to create danger where there wasn't danger. It can damage people. A 3-man's going to be able to do more damage. And if they don't stop it, now you're scoring, and you're going to change it up, which is a psychological effect. And the good players are going to know how to deal with it, and they still might take damage. But the bad players, the less experienced players, not the bad players, the less experienced players, it's going to gum them up, and it can really throw them off their game, because now you're like in every table quarter, and they can't hold objectives. The Spore Mines can't hold objectives, but like I said, the people will shoot at them and waste shots. It's good for unconventional reasons. I really like sharing this information with you guys, and I want to say thank you for spending your time here with us at the Dragon Slide.